What I found most meaningful about the play Dr. Horrible was the upbeat music that was used throughout the musical and how that really captivated me. Although the music had really interesting rhythms and tones, it still had a sad kind of undertone because Dr. Horrible was always trying to get Penny or kind of explain the issues that he's going through. So I thought it was a very interesting way to really bring me in as a viewer, and it's probably one of the favorite things I've watched so far for this class. Three themes that are present throughout this play. The first one I'd like to talk about would be evil. And this is kind of the concept that lies behind evil. I think it's very interesting that Dr. Evil was considered the evil character within this play, but this whole time he was really trying to be accepted by an organization. Although it's not an organization that typically people would want to affiliate with, he still wanted to be accepted and he still loved a girl, Penny. The next thing I'd like to talk about is the concept of love. Penny really fell for Captain Hammer, who was the quote-unquote good character in this book, but I think it's interesting that he was kind of the evil one because all he really wanted to do was hook up with her and take advantage of her and not really date her for the right reasons, when I kind of got the impression that Dr. Evil wanted to date Penny for the right reasons. The next I'd like to talk about is the concept of villains, and this kind of plays off what I was just talking about. Dr. Horrible had feelings too. He simply wanted to be accepted yet again, and he also loved a girl in this play. And I think sometimes with evil people, we can tend to disregard their feelings and that they are human too. And I think that sometimes that's a hard concept for us to be able to wrap our minds around. The song that I'd like to analyze would be My Freeze Ray by Dr. Horrible, which is kind of at the beginning of the play when they are at the laundromat. And this play serves as a function as to show how much Dr. Evil does love Penny, but how awkward he is around talking to a girl that he likes, that he feels he has to freeze the world to be able to have a conversation with her and be able to look at her and feel a connection. This advances the play because it foreshadows what's going to happen towards the end. At one point in the song, he talks about how it's not a death gun and it's not a gun that's going to hurt anyone, but it's simply a freeze ray. But at the end of the play, he does have a death ray in order to kill someone so that he can be accepted into the evil academy. And he ends up killing Penny, sadly. So it kind of foreshadows what's actually going to happen towards the end of the play. And this also develops his character, Dr. Evil, because it kind of shows his awkwardness and the fact that he is a good person and has good intentions, but through his yearning to be evil, they won't necessarily be taken out in the right way. The effect that music had for me in this musical was actually a lot better than I thought it would. The music really kept me engaged as a viewer, and it made me able to relate better to the characters in the play. The relationship with the story is that it helped me understand the characters on a deeper level, and I think that this is because through music you can really tell how someone's feeling, if they're sad or happy, and there's more fluctuations and rhythms and beats that you can follow that help you also understand if you're having trouble grasping what the characters are actually saying. And this is very comparable to Shakespearean soliloquies and monologues because the characters having a one-on-one conversation with the audience almost, although it's through song, they're really able to speak their minds and what's bothering them instead of just talking about it. It's something that I think we can all relate to when we just hear a really good song on the radio and it's exactly what we needed to say but couldn't say it ourselves.